Hello, everyone. Today is April 14th, 2025. It is currently 10:13 a.m. and I am happy to be on this beautiful morning. I hope y'all are doing well. So today we're going to go into astrology one-on-one. This is something I really enjoy, and I want to share a little bit about it with you. First off, the information I'm getting this book from is the research I did for my book, and then this is coming out of my book. So let's talk about it. What is astrology? Astrology is based on the idea that positions of celestial bodies at the time of your birth is known as your natal chart. Now, the natal chart is going to reflect aspects of your personality, your life path, your relationships, your career, as well as your challenges. Now, each planet, welcome in. Just as a reminder, for those of you who like the information and the content I share, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and subscribe. All right. And I talk about a lot of different subjects from spiritual awakening, astrology, tarot readings, and everything in between. So let's get back to astrology. So each planet, there's a sign and a house in your chart which carries specific meanings, and they carry different energies which combine to form a detailed portrait of your unique characteristics and experiences of this life. Okay. Now, astrology is more than horoscope that you see online. It really goes into the placements of planets based on your birth date, your location, and the time of birth. Now, let's go into the natal chart. I want to break this down so that you can begin to understand and research more about who you are. Because the most important thing in this life is to thine own self be true. Welcome in. So, the natal chart is your cosmic blueprint. Your natal chart is a snapshot of the sky at the exact moment you were born. It's going to map the positions of the planets, the sun, the moon, and other astrological points relative to the 12 zodiac signs and the 12 houses. I also like to share and bring up the 12 months of the year, the 12 disciples. So 12 is a significant number. So this chart is going to provide you with deep insights into your personality, into your talents, into your challenges, and even your life purpose. So, as we go deeper into your natal chart to find out more information about who you are, why you were created, why you were born, what your purposes are, what your talents are, a little bit more about why your personality type is like this, we're going to go to your natal chart. You're going to need three things: your date of birth, your time of birth, and the city of your birth. This is how we're going to get your natal chart, which is your cosmic blueprint. Welcome in, y'all. Welcome in. Now, once you have these three pieces of information, thumbs up the video so that I can move on. Do you know the date of your birth? Of course you do. Do you know the time of your birth? If you don't know the time of your birth, don't worry about that. Just know the city that you were born in. Welcome in, guys. So, what we're doing now is we're breaking down astrology one-on-one. Now, we're going into the natal chart. You need three pieces of information: your date of birth, your time of birth, and your place of birth. So once you get this, give me a thumbs up so that we can move to the next section. Well, I'm just going to move to the next section. Now, the components of your natal chart will consist of the 12 zodiac signs, the 12 planets, as well as different aspects, which are angles between the planets. Thank you. Each one of these components plays a unique role in shaping your personal astrological profile. Now, everybody knows pretty much what their zodiac sign is, right? That is your sun sign. The sun sign tells you it's determined by the position of the sun at the time of your birth. Okay? It represents your core self, your identity, and how you express your individuality in the world. This is the sign most people are familiar with, right? Welcome in. Hello. So, we're talking about this is Astrology One on One. We're starting from the very beginning, understanding different aspects of astrology. Thank you, love. I appreciate you. So the sun sign, everybody knows their birthday. So you know if you're a Sagittarius, Scorpio, Capricorn, Aquarius. Now this is what's going to express your individuality and who you are. Now the next sign is going to be the moon sign. We're going to talk about the triple three: your sun, moon, and rising. The second one of the triple three is your moon sign. This is going to focus and speak about your emotions. It's determined by the position of the moon at the at the time of your birth. Hola, welcome in, Key. It reveals your emotional nature. We're talking about the astrology one on one and the big three: your sun, moon, and rising. Now, the moon sign is going to reveal your emotional nature, your subconscious desires, and your inner world. The moon is hidden. The moon governs your intuition, your emotional needs, and how you react to life challenges. Thank you. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. And the third of the big three is your rising, your ascendant. Now, this is a sign that was rising on the eastern horizon at the moment of your birth. It influences the way you present yourself to the world, how others perceive you, and how the outer world behaves. The rising sign is the mask you wear and it's the first impressions others have of you. And you know, we all want to put forth our best when we go out into the world, right? So the ascendant is it's your outer self. It's how you wonderful. Thank you so much for subbing. So get your paper and pen. I'm going to help you navigate and learn more about yourself as we go into the big three: the sun, the moon, and your rising, the ascendant sign. So if you can go to, you don't have to go now, but afterwards, what we're doing now is we're really going into understanding what it means to thine own self be true. The most important thing as we move or as we're in the age of Aquarius is you have to know who your number one player is, and that is you. Everybody else at this time is going to have to take a back seat for you. Is that's your number one player. You don't want to leave where? Lava. So you are your number one player. This is the time that, you have people around you. Well, I don't want to stay in the age of Pisces because the age of Pisces was more about domination, slavery. Just like, for an example, TikTok. I was scrolling TikTok. You don't have to leave. You can stay on unless you need to leave, but you can always come back and watch the replay. But in order for you guys to find out what your big three are, I want you to go to Cafe, CAFE, Astrology, and it's going to ask you for your birth date, the time, as well as the city you were born in. It's going to give you the big three: your sun, your moon, and your rising. Okay? And so, like I was saying, the most important thing is to get to know who you are at this time. So now we're going to know who we are cosmologically based on what exactly was taking place with the sun at the date and the time of my birth. I always like to share that when Jesus was born, whether it's a real story or a fictional story, everybody knows the story. But the wise men, in order for them to locate Jesus, they followed the stars in the sky. Another story is when, what is her name? Sojourner Truth, I believe. She was taking the slaves and helping them find their freedom. And the way that she was able to navigate were through the stars, were through the moon and through the sun. So this is a navigational system. It's a cosmic navigational system. You know, we have GPS. This is based off of the original GPS, which are the suns, the stars, the moon, astrology. So when the religious people want to tell you that it is demonic to follow the cosmos, they just don't want you to know who you are so they can keep you enslaved. But now we have been set free, not willingly, but we've been set free. We are coming into our freedom. And as we are coming into our freedom, we must start taking the time to get to know who we are as individuals, separate from everybody else. No worries. You can come back and watch it later. Thank you for joining, Lava. So now we're going to talk about the zodiac signs. There are 12 zodiac signs. There are 12 houses, the planets, and the aspects. So you know your sun sign. That is when you were born. Your moon sign, once you go to Cafe Astrology, you can get that as well as your ascendant. Now I want to talk a little bit about the 12 houses, the 12 areas of life. The first house is your self, your identity, your appearance, and your physical body. The houses represent just different areas of our life, such as relationships, career, home, self-expression. Now, if you're having challenges in a particular part of your life, you're able to go to these houses so that you can understand why you're having these challenges in your life, as well as find out how to overcome those challenges. We no longer have to walk through life blindly and try to figure it out, or hold on to old relationships, old family, old connections that just don't serve our highest and greatest good, that they are taking up space in our lives, but they're not contributing to our lives. Those are the relationships we want to end because they're siphoning energy from us. They're stealing energy from us that we can use to build our life. But what they are doing is they come in to pull that energy from you. So now when we get to know who we are, to thine own self be true, then we're able to understand why we do the things that we do and how to overcome the challenges in our life. So grab your paper, grab your pen. Again, the first house is going to be yourself, your identity, your appearance, and your physical body. Okay? And I'm going to first touch on the different houses, and then I'll continue to come back on and go through more as we get to learn who we are based on a cosmological blueprint of who we were at the time of our birth. Okay? Now, the second house is going to be our values, our material possessions, and our finances. I have a particular love for astrology for several different reasons. But the first one is because it helps you understand who you are and why you do the things that you do. And the second reason that I really love astrology is because someone that I absolutely love and admire, this is an area of their life that they're masters in. And so I appreciate having those relationships that are able to grow me internally so that I can reach my highest and greatest timeline. Okay, so the second house, ladies and gentlemen, is the second house of values, material possessions. Uh-oh, it just blinked off. Values, material possessions, and finances. The third house is the house of communication, learning, and siblings. So if you guys ever wondered why you and your siblings love each other so much or why you don't love each other so much, you can do research in the third house to understand the dynamics of those relationships. The fourth house is the home, the family, roots, and emotional foundation. How you were, what is your foundation? You know, was it cracked? Was it weak? Was it solid? Was it strong? Did you have to go back and rebuild a foundation because your foundation, the family that you came in on, was compromised? Okay. The fifth house is creativity, romance, children, and self-expression. If you want to know, what do you like as far as creativity? What type of romance do you like? Some people like very, touchy feely, lovey kind of relationships, and other people like to have their space. Some people want to bring children into the world, and some people choose not to. When we're dealing with astrology, this isn't a right or wrong answer. This is more about understanding who you are, where you come from, and where you're going. Okay? Our sixth house is the house of health, daily routines, and service. And I'm going fast, but I want you guys to be able to come back and listen to the video so that you can really break down what is going on cosmologically for yourself and for your life. And I'll always say, to thine own self be true, because you can never be true to anything outside of yourself until you find the truth within. Okay, we're going to go to the seventh house, relationships, partnerships, and marriage. If you have a question of, will I ever get married? Or is this the relationship for me? Or am I in the right partnerships? Go to your seventh house. It'll give you understanding of you and relationships, partnerships, and marriage. The eighth house speaks about transformation, shared resources, and intimacy. That one sounds pretty juicy, right? Welcome in. Welcome in, you guys. Thank you for the likes. I appreciate each and every one of you. I appreciate you joining in. It is always such a pleasure to connect with new and previous subscribers. My goal is always to enlighten those who come to my page so that you can really get an understanding of life and yourself in this life as we are moving into the age of Aquarius. Okay, so now we're going to move to the ninth house, philosophy, travel, higher education, and spirituality. This is going to go, and if you're on this page or came through the page and came back to the page and you listen to some things that I do, your ninth house is for sure in the areas of philosophy, higher education, and spirituality. It's a little bit different from traditional education. This is spirituality is going to go more so into how you and the cosmos are connected, because we're all here on purpose for a purpose. And while we're here, it is our responsibility to find out as much as we possibly can as to why we incarnated into the earth at this time. The 10th house, career, public image, and life goals. That's an interesting one too. I think all of these houses are so interesting. The 11th house, we're going to go into friendships, social groups, and dreams. Welcome in. Welcome in. And the 12th house is the subconscious, hidden strengths, and spiritual growth. Those are the 12 houses that break up different areas of life. Now, the planets, the inner forces, each planet in astrology represents a different type of energy or force in your life. The planets influence specific areas of your personality and experiences. So, we have 12 houses, we have 12 zodiac signs, and then we have the planets, the inner forces that govern the houses and the signs. So the first sign is the sun sign, which is your core identity, your will, and your purpose. Your moon sign are your emotions, your instincts, and subconscious. This is the area where there's some things that you know, however, you don't have proof of it. It's what's living below the surface. Okay? The next one is Mercury. This is the area of communication, your thought process, and your intellect. Your Venus, the house of love, beauty, relationships, and values. And so in this astrology one-on-one, we're really just focusing on the basic understanding of astrology, understanding, your natal chart, or getting an idea. It's like me planting a mustard seed into your mind about the natal chart, the zodiac signs, the 12 houses, and the planets. And you're, going into step by step of how to read your natal guide. Okay, but I'm going to pick back up on the planets. And so Mars is the planet of action, energy, drive, and aggression. Hey, welcome in, Stitchy. Good to see you. Good to have you. We're talking about astrology one-on-one so that we can get to know who we are in alignment with the cosmos. Why are we here? Who are we? Okay, I'm going to go to the next planet, Jupiter. Jupiter is the planet of expansion, growth, luck, and philosophy. Oh, Saturn. Saturn. Number 7 is Saturn. Saturn is going to be the get right planet. I love it too. Saturn is the get right planet. It governs discipline, structure, responsibility, and limitations. You are not going to win when you're up against Saturn. You're not going to win when you're up against any of these. But Saturn is the one that's going to, Saturn is like the daddy energy. You don't play when it comes to daddy, right? Uranus is the planet of innovation, rebellion, and sudden change. Okay? Number 9, Neptune. Neptune governs dreams, intuition, spirituality, and illusions. And y'all stay with me because what we're doing, this is astrology one-on-one. So this is the initial step in understanding the different areas of your natal chart. We spoke about a little while ago the big three, your sun sign, the moon sign, and rising. And what I want you guys to come back, I want you to put in the notes that you went and got your natal chart from Cafe Astrology and just say, I got mine. Because I want to know the clouds are covering the meteor shower right now. Even if the clouds are covering things in the cosmos, the frequency is what determines how it's going to interact with you internally. So no worries about that. I know that we do, like this morning, I got an opportunity to see the pink moon, even though it was 2 days ago. It's still the pink full moon, and it was so beautiful. And I could see the clouds covering it up, but it still doesn't stop the moon from emanating the frequencies that it's going to emanate. Okay, so Pluto, number 10, Pluto. Pluto is the house of transformation, power, and deep psychological change. Now, in order for us to understand our natal chart compared to the zodiac signs, the house, and the planets, we got to pull our natal chart. Now, I'm going to go a little bit deeper into the aspects. In astrology, aspects are the angles formed between planets in your chart. These aspects influence how the planets interact with each other and can reveal areas of harmony, areas of tension, or challenges in your life. Now, the most common aspects are conjunctions. Planets are aligned and working together, amplifying their energies. Then there's opposition. Planets are directly opposite each other, indicating tension or balance. When you go to Cafe Astrology, you'll be able to pull up a visual picture, and you'll also be able to get a detailed explanation of each of the planets. For instance, I'm sure you've heard of people say, I have Gemini and Venus. Then you can go Google Gemini and Venus, and it'll go into deeper explanation of who you are and what it means to be a Gemini in Venus. So if you're having trouble in the house of, let's say, the fourth house, the house of family, home, family roots, and emotional foundation, and let's just say it says, Gemini in the fourth house, then you'll be able to understand why you've experienced things in your fourth house. And then you'll also be able to understand how to overcome those things that you've experienced. Because as I say often, is that we have incarnated into this lifetime to overcome some things that we've had issues with in past lifetimes. Earth is school. So the question is, did we participate in school in a way that helped us overcome our past life challenges so that we could graduate to the next level? Or did we continue to respond to life in the exact same way that we did from past lives and did not learn our soul lessons? And when I say school, I'm not speaking of the types of school that we're accustomed to going to, traditional schools. You go to kindergarten, pre-K, and then you go to 12th grade, and then you go to college. I'm not speaking of that type of school. There is an original type of school where when children are born, they know their natal chart, they understand the astrological chart, and so they find out what their let's see, they look at the first house of self, identity, appearance, and physical bodies. As a tribe, we would go deeper into the natal chart so that we can understand what this beautiful, precious gift came back to give to the world. So education was done in tribal ways so the child could begin on their path early in life and not just taking classes just to say they took a class, which is not going to help them in their life whatsoever. This is how you have a 14-year-old that appears to be genius because they started so early in their life on their life path and not having to do things in a way that are fruitless. Okay? So let me see. Let me go back. I kind of jumped around a little bit. So the big three are the sun, the moon, and the rising. That's your assignment for today. I want you to find out what your big three are. And if you have questions or concerns that, oh, Kim, I went to Cafe Astrology, I have my big three, but it's so much information, I don't understand it. Come back and put it in the comments. Okay? So you're going to look at the planets in the houses. You're going to examine where the planets fall in your house. This is going to give you insight on how different areas of your life are influenced by planetary energies. Now, when we study the aspects, that means between the planets, there are different aspects between each planet and how they interact with one another. Do any planets form harmonious angles? Or are there any challenging aspects, which means that, let's just say there's a circle, and at the bottom of the circle, let's say it's in the house, the ninth house. And the ninth house is the house of philosophy, travel, higher education, and spirituality. But completely opposite, on the other side of the circle, there's something else. There could be challenges in the ninth house for you. And if you recognize what the challenges are, then you're halfway to understanding how to overcome that challenge. Does that make sense? Drop any questions if you have any questions so far. Now we're going to analyze your chart. So when you get your chart, you're going to say, oh, well, I have Gemini in my first house. I have Virgo in my second house. I have Taurus in my third house. I have Leo in my fourth house, and so on. And what I want you to do is Google Taurus in first house so that it can give you an understanding of what Taurus in first house looks like. It should resonate with you. It should reflect back to you things about yourself that you did not know, but you knew. Something that was in your subconscious mind. But now, since you're reading about it, it's going from your subconscious mind into your conscious mind. So now you're able to think on whether it was a challenge that you had. You're able to engage your conscious mind so that you can overcome that challenge. I hope that makes sense. Let me know if that doesn't make sense in the comments. So this is where you're going to analyze your chart. Go through each chart. Take this time for you. Because one of my favorite quotes is, to thine own self be true. And how can you be true to yourself if you don't know your truth? And so the astrological wheel is going to cover 12 areas of our lives so that we can understand who we are and understand what it is we're presenting to the world. In addition, it'll be able to bring some things from your subconscious mind into your conscious mind. So it's no longer hidden in the subconscious mind, which is how we react to life. It is things that we know, but we don't know how we know. It is how we make decisions. It is how we make our next move. It is how we operate. The subconscious mind is what is programmed into us and how we respond to life. Now, if there's a program running in your subconscious mind that does not serve you, you want to move that into your conscious mind, excuse me. You want to move that into your conscious mind so that now you can begin looking for the solution to your challenge. And that's why I want you guys to go pull your natal chart, find out what your first house is, your second house, and your third. This is the second part. The first is to get your big three. The second one is to get your first, second, and third house. This is how you're going to find out who you are and why you do the things that you do. I do say that no matter what happens to us in our lives, in our foundational lives, what family we were born into, the friends that we're around, sometimes we don't have a control over that aspect of our lives. But when we find out better, when we know better, we do better. So this page is a page that's going to help you understand who you are and why you react and do the things that you do. Okay? Now, astrology is a powerful tool for self-discovery, offering very deep insight into your personality. So I want to add today's affirmation. I am capable of achieving my highest potential. And in order to achieve your highest potential, you first have to know who you are. What do I want? What does it mean when the planets were aligned in this fashion? Because we are spirit beings having a human experience. We're spirit beings having a brief human moment, right? And so during this time in Earth School, we want to make the most of it. I don't want you guys to worry or fret about anything that happened prior to today, and you wish you had a better this, or you wish you had a better that, or you wish you had a better this. We're no longer staying in that mindset. Now we're moving into I have the ability and I'm capable of changing my life and living my best life. So nobody's going to be able to say that I didn't have a chance. It was because of this or because of that. We're going to take our entire lives into our own hands and we're going to create what it is we would like to experience. Okay. I have today's affirmation. I am capable of achieving my highest potential. This number 2 is my life's purpose. I want you to reflect on a brief time of what you believe your life's purpose is. What is the reason you're here? What impact do you want to make on the world? What impact do you want to make on your family? Number 3, your soul mission. What is your soul mission? I want you to contemplate and reflect what is your higher calling? What do you feel deeply connected to on a soul level? This is why we're here. This is why we're here. There's some unfinished business that needs to be finished from past lives. And we now have the opportunity to complete a mission, to complete something that we started in a past life. Number 4, your goals. What are your core goals? Write down 3 to 5 specific goals you want to focus on in the next 6 months. We're already in quarter 2. If you stick with me, you'll be so much further than you ever imagined you would be. Just by listening to the podcast, the channel, and doing the work. The work is very fulfilling because you are building Solomon's temple. The temple is not a place that we go to with other people to worship. There's nothing wrong with doing that. But Solomon's temple is the temple of our spirit being. And we're having an opportunity coming into this physical earth to express what our spirit wants to express. Because in the spiritual realm, we don't have all of these challenges and oppositions and detours. We're back to our original spirit self. So we have the opportunity to really become greater than we've ever imagined, because we never know when we'll go back to that spirit self. And don't you want to go back to that spirit self as a greater version than you were in the past life? That you use the time that you were blessed with in a way that moved you to a higher level spiritually. It moves your legacy and your lineage to a higher level spiritually. It moves humanity to a higher level spiritually. I don't know about you, but I call those wins. I don't know about you, but I call those great wins. It's wonderful and it's nice to build your dream home and to drive your great car, but those things don't last. We want those things true. But the first thing we must do is work on ourselves from an energetic frequency level, because that is what lasts for eternity. There is a great cloud of witnesses around us that are cheering us on so that we can grow spiritually. We're not alone. Even when we feel like we're alone, we're not alone. And so let's do ourselves and let's do humanity a let's give a gift and raise ourselves to our highest and greatest timeline. Let's see. Okay. And the last thing we were talking about 3 to 5 goals over the next, I'm going to say 3 months. So April, May, and June. Write down 3 of your top goals that you want to accomplish in the next 3 months. I'm going to do it too. Whatever it is, what you want to accomplish over the next 3 months, write those things down. Make a decision today. Don't put it off until tomorrow. Welcome in. Welcome in. Yes, 3 months. It's easier to chew, to bite down and chew. So write those 3 months, and we're going to include April. Today is 15th, so we're going to include half of, or 14th. We're going to include the mid part of April to April, May, June to the mid part of July. And I'm going to be checking in 3 goals. Now, this is the thing. When we make a decision that we want to accomplish something, there is always opposition. Remember, we spoke about that in universal laws. That opposition is only there to remind you, to nudge you, to let you know that you're on the right path. Because we need that opposition to build our mental muscle, our physical muscle. We need that opposition. The goal is to strengthen your mind so that you can push past the obstacles. It's just like weightlifting. If you've been in the gym for 3 months, 6 months, and you don't graduate from that 3-pound weight, I'm sure that there is some benefit to it, but it's not the greatest benefit. We don't necessarily want to pick up the heaviest weight, but we want to challenge our mental. We want to challenge our mental faculties. Okay, so y'all with me? We have a lot of homework that I discussed, and I'm going to be back on tomorrow to see how y'all are doing. The first is to get your natal chart. The second is to know your big 3. The third is to know what your first, second, and third houses are. Which house are they in? And to read on them. What does it mean if my first house in Gemini? Find out about you. Okay? Write down 3 to 5 goals that you want to accomplish in the next 3 months. So this is a big day. This is a challenge. I love challenges. I love challenges. I don't want unnecessary challenges. Don't get me wrong. I love challenges that will stretch me to become a higher and greater version of myself. Okay. Let's see. Put the date. Today is 4/14/2025. It is currently 10:58 a.m. And this is what I'm participating in, Astrology One-on-One. I want to share with you, we want to focus on what we want. So no matter what is going on in your life, no matter how you're feeling, this is how you use the energy that is trying to throw you off. This is how you transmute it into what you want. Focus on what you want. We're not going to give any attention to things that no longer serve our highest and greatest good. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of frequency. It's a waste of energy. And people are stealing energy that way. Okay? We got it? We got it, y'all? We have like 4 different areas of homework for tonight. I've already done mine. I know my homework. I've done my homework. Now I'm sharing it with you guys. Now we're going to also tomorrow we're going to incorporate some other things. So we're doing a lifestyle change. And I want to get you all started off on the right foot, focusing on the right things, utilizing your energy so that it will raise your frequency. And anything that does not serve your highest and greatest good. So if you are eating something that causes your stomach to be upset, stop eating it. Find something else to replace it. So what we're doing is we're crafting a new life for ourselves based on what is best for us each individually. Because like I always say, at the end of our time on earth, there are going to be judges and the great God, the mother God, who's going to ask us, what did you do with your time on earth, in earth school? Did you play around with the bad kids and try to hurt everybody else and try to steal things from them or steal things from the people who were focused on their mission? Were you the one that the enemy used to try to stop other people from accomplishing and self-actualizing? This is where the wheat and the tare get separated because we can't hide the things that we've done. All the veils are being removed, i.e. the tariffs in China. China is telling us all the goods. People are spending $38,000 on a bag where the bag really only cost $1,000 to make. And then if you add 100% tariff, that may be a $1,100 purse, and you're spending $38,000 on a bag that you could have purchased for $1,100. All the goods, everything that was secret is being revealed. Now, while everything that is secret is being revealed, let's go into the things that have been secret about us so that we can reveal it, so we can overcome the challenge, so that we can ascend to our highest timeline. Okay? I'm excited. I love astrology. I love transformation. I love it. Oh, tomorrow is going to be so good because this is something that I need to add into my daily practices. And this is the challenge. We're all going to be at different places in our challenge, and that's okay. But get your notebook, your blue pen, and stay with the challenge. If you fall off one day, just get back on it the next day. There's no condemnation. We don't condemn ourselves anymore. We are our own best friend. Would you want to be around a best friend that's condemning you all the time? No. We're going to speak life into our lives. We're going to speak health into our lives. We're going to speak healing into our lives. We are learning to be our own best friends. Okay? So it has been a pleasure this 14th day of April, 2025. And I look forward to reconnecting with you tomorrow. And until the next time, namaste.